All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue on with Ranger updates. Today is Tuesday the 3rd. We leave next Wednesday evening to start heading to Florida for the race on Saturday the 14th. So got about a week before we leave. Need to get everything buttoned up. We did get wheels and tires on the silver truck. I'm not going to show you quite yet. And then we got wheels and tires on Kyle's green weenie. They look hilarious. Both trucks, I think, got a pretty decent setup. I think they'll work well. But before we can dive into the Ranger stuff, I need to finish up the tune. On this old girl, 82 square body, 6.2 bottom end, 243 heads, Trailblazer intake and whatnot. So got most of the drivability tuning done. We're going to strap it down to the roller, start making some power with it, and then once we're done with this guy, don't want to show you. We're going to go over here and show you the wheels and tire setup on the silver truck, and then we'll get it on the lift and start pulling the front suspension off, because we have some mood control arms, some pads, some shocks, all that good stuff, because it needs updated. A lot of that stuff is pretty expired. So I'm gonna get into the tune and I'll show you guys the trucks when we're done. So all right, so we're getting everything set up, ready to make some tugs on this Chevy. We're gonna be rocking HP tuners, got our AEM wideband hooked into our MPVI 2 Pro Link, waiting for this tune to get downloaded, and we'll make a little short pull and see where it's at. Once everything looks good, we'll go up, we'll start at probably 4,000 RPM and then creep up to 5,000, 6,000, make sure everything looks good, make sure fuel looks good, and we'll go from there and take you guys along for the ride. So here we go. Alright, that ran out pretty good. Let's see what she made on 17 degrees, which is pretty mild. So she made 349, 338 foot-pounds. Stop the log, check all this out. So started the run at 2,000 RPM, 17 degrees. We got our commanded 12.0, 17 degrees of timing, 4,000 RPM, 5,400 RPM, and I think we touched the limiter at 56. Still 11.7, clean up a little bit of fueling. Injector duty cycle looks good, 17 degrees of timing. Overall, pretty clean run. We could clean up maybe a little bit of fueling there, but again, 349, 383, 338 foot-pounds. So continuing to make power, so we might bump up the limiter just a little bit. Don't want to go too crazy, but so far so good. All right, so this will be the last pull on the truck. I've made several over the last couple hours trying to get everything ironed out. Right now the truck really likes 12.5 fuel, air fuel, and we're at, I believe, 25 degrees of timing. The intake air filter placement on this truck is not ideal. It's not finished, so we might have to come back later and kind of clean up some stuff. Intake temps are a little warm. One of the pulls, it was a back-to-back pull. We lost, I think, 30 horsepower just because the intake temps got so hot on the second pull. So he's working on a cold air intake. That'll make a huge difference on this setup, but it's pretty close. We'll just go back in and touch things up once he's done, if we need to. So we'll do one more, and then once we're buttoned up with this thing, I'll show you wheels and tires for the Rangers. So they turned out pretty good. so let's look at the log real quick. I'll show you the final graph for the time being. All right, so here's the final log. Go back here to the pole. So like I said, intake air temps is 113 degrees, not ideal. Would like to see that, you know, sub 100 if we could. 26 degrees of timing. Right there at the top of the pole at 6,000 RPM, we nailed our goal at 12.5 air fuel. And that last pole on, what did I say, timing? 26. 377 horsepower, 338 foot-pounds of torque. So, not a terrible looking graph. I think our best pull, let me go back, hang on. I think our best pull was 380. So we lost a little bit of power when we added 1 degree of timing. So we're gonna go back and take that degree of timing out of it. There's no sense in pushing it to the ragged edge for 1 degree. So we'll get rid of that. Kind of button this thing up, and we'll go work on the Rangers. All right, so I let it cool down really good, pulled that 1 degree of timing out, and went to back it up in 393, 368. So that just shows you don't need all the timing. Pulled 1 degree out, let it cool down. Again, that air filter is not in an ideal place, so let that intake cool down nice. I think that was about 10 degrees cooler than the pull previous when it picked up 13 horsepower. So, all right, well, I'm gonna kill this thing, save the final tune. Now we'll go over to the Rangers. All right, so just finished up the tune on the C10, and I just turned around and looked at the old Ranger on the new kicks, and it's an absolute trip. So we'll go take a look at Kyle's first. Kyle got his wheels and tires mounted, and it is officially, it's I don't know what to call it. It looks like Lieutenant Dan because it lost most of its legs, but here it is. This is a Nitto, I believe it's a Nitto Neogen in a 205/50/15, I believe. And I think the wheels are like 7.5 inches wide. So check this thing out. So real itty bitty, teeny tiny rubber band, nice sticky tire. Nitto makes a good tire. Won't have a whole lot of sidewall rolling around. Went with the same size all the way around. It's absolutely hilarious in person, but it's gonna rip. It's gonna help with gearing. It's gonna help with the overall quartering, hopefully. Not a lot of rotating mass. It's a pretty light setup, but it's absolutely hilarious. But I think it'll be 10 times better than what comes on these trucks. So we'll go take a look at the silver truck, kind of show you what we got going on with it. All right, so this is, oh, it's hilarious. All right, I'll let you guys see. So the silver truck got Toyo R888Rs, staggered sizes. So we have a 195 50/15 on the driver's side, and on the passenger side we went even bigger. I believe it is a 225 50/15. So this tire's a good inch or better taller, and probably an inch or so wider than the driver's side. So put an angle finder on it. You probably can't really see it in the video, but it's got about 3 degrees of rake leaning towards the driver's side. Doing a bunch of research, kind of what was explained to me when you do this, if you lay a solo cup on its side and you roll it, that cup's going to roll, a lot. It rolls easy in a circle. So you got a bigger diameter on this side, shorter diameter on that side. Hopefully it rolls easy in a circle. So got our steel 15s on there, 8 inches wide. But yeah, that's our tire setup. It's it's absolute hoot. I'm gonna try and get some exhaust on the silver truck so I can drive it some more this week. We leave in 7 days, and still have a pile of parts we need to get it put on it, and got to get it painted. So my wife's going to paint it. She's got a good paint scheme. Most of the paint showed up today in the mail, so hopefully this weekend, if the weather's nice, we'll shoot some paint on it, and just little touches here and there. But back to the tires. I am a little nervous. You know, we are going to Florida. I hope it doesn't rain. Hopefully we aren't racing in the rain. These Toyos, it's kind of worn off now, but they had a big old warning sticker that said, you know, not for fair weather driving, keep above, you know, don't drive when it's below 30 degrees, don't drive in the wet. I mean, this is a dry, full-blown, I mean, this is a legit, I think the tread wear is like 100, which is super low. Real sticky compound. So hopefully it doesn't rain. We're gonna pick through some of these that we took off, find some good spares. You know, if we get halfway through the race and heaven forbid one of these lets go, we'll pull in, we'll throw on a spare, we'll finish the race. You know, we won't be competitive, but you know, we're going a long ways to race. We'll slap on a cheap tire and try to knock down as many laps as we can. So pretty short video. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll be back hopefully the next day or two with some more Ranger updates. We're going to hit this thing pretty hard over the next couple days. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys on the next one.